Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The December 1st meeting of the Clayton County Board of Education is called to order. Would you please join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Board members, in accordance with Board Policy BH, it is the duty of every board member to avoid both conflicts of interest and appearance of such conflicts. Does any board member have any known conflict of interest or appearance of such conflict with respect to any matter scheduled to come before the board at this meeting or appearing on our agenda? If so, please identify the conflict or appearance of conflict and refrain from participating in the matter involved. I understand we have no board recognitions this evening, and I understand that we have no public officials in attendance. So we're moving right through this agenda, aren't we? We have no need for an executive session this evening. We have no need of an executive session, so I'll yield to the Vice Chair, who has our announcements for the evening.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board, Superintendent Jackson. Here's what's happening in Clayton County Schools. The month of December is National Drunk and Drug Driving Prevention Month and Spiritual Literacy Month. December is also home to National Rosa Parks Day, Special Education Day, National Human Rights Day, and National Bill of Rights Day. Students from the Martha E. Stillwell Schools of the Arts will present the 3rd annual Touching Hearts Through Performing Arts, a benefit concert in support of homeless children and youth enrolled in Clayton County Public Schools. The concert will be held Sunday, December 7th from 3 to 5 p.m. The doors will open at 2:45 p.m. Tickets can be purchased for a $5 donation at the door or in advance at the Stillwell School office. Proceeds will fund the Chelsea Fierce Scholarship. 2 of the district's performance groups will perform at the Governor's Mansion during the holiday season. The M.E. Stillwell School of the Arts Mixed Chorus will perform on Wednesday, December 10th at 10 o'clock a.m. The M.D. Roberts School of Arts Orchestra will perform Friday, December 19th at 9 o'clock a.m. All of the district's offices and schools will be closed from Monday, December 22nd through Friday, January 17th, in observance of our semester break. Monday, January 5th, and Tuesday, January 6th, will be staff development days. Students will return on Wednesday, January 17th, as the district resumes a regular schedule. This will mark the start of the 2nd semester. There is no work session in December for the January 2015 board meeting. The Clayton County Board of Education will meet for its regular monthly session on Monday, January 5th at the Administration Complex. All items will be presented and voted on at the board meeting, which is scheduled to begin at 6 o'clock p.m. Following the semester break, the district's newest high school, the M.E. Stillwell School of the Arts, will officially open for instruction on Wednesday, January 7th. These are our announcements for the month of December. Thank you, and have a wonderful holiday.
Thank you, Dr. Anderson. Ms. Gorey.
Madam Chair, I'd like to offer 1 or 2 other announcements. Because I know that this hasn't been recognized, but on November 24th, a very important lady that's sitting up here celebrated her birthday. That's Miss Lavinia Jackson. She's not telling her age. I don't know how old she is, but she looks fabulous. So I wanted to say happy birthday to her. And also, I want to make an announcement. I'll just give my own accolades. On December the 5th, I will be turning 60 years old, 60, I'm sorry, but play on words. So I'm going to give my own self some accolades here.
Let's do a little birthday round of applause, y'all.
Thank you, ma'am.
There come certain birthdays when you stop announcing it. It just happens. Okay, board members, we need to approve the minutes for the board work session on October the 27th. the retreat on November the 1st, and the board meeting on November the 3rd. Were there any additions or corrections to the minutes as you reviewed them? Then seeing none, they are approved as they were written. And now it's time for the superintendent's report.
Thank you, and good evening, Madam Chair, Madam Vice Chair, members of the board, and community members. On November 19th, I was privileged to represent Clayton County Public Schools and the state of Georgia as one of 100 top school leaders from across the United States to participate in the National Connected Superintendent Summit at the White House. The event was hosted by President Barack Obama. My selection to attend the prestigious event was based on our work in transitioning our district to digital learning. Our district will continue to implement our vision for technology, which is to have both teachers and students engaged on a daily basis through the use of digital learning tools. I believe my participation in the Connected Summit will be beneficial for our students and our schools. In preparation for my participation during the summit, the district produced a short video featuring our commitment to technology, and here it is for your viewing pleasure. Thank you.
Before I let the superintendent move on to the next item, I don't think that we can just go through this quite this quick. But our superintendent in Clayton County Schools was one of only 100 people in the nation invited to come.
Thank you very much. And as I looked at what the President of the United States and our Secretary of Education presented as models for digital learning from across the nation, we are right there with the best of them. So I just want us to all know that we are making strides here in Clayton County, and we are Clayton proud. So give yourselves a round of applause for all of our accomplishments with our students and teachers. Clayton County is developing its first common youth-driven agenda that keeps our children in school, out of court, and onto a positive and healthy future. All residents and stakeholders are encouraged to participate in an agenda development process. The agenda is intended to set long-term, community-wide priorities for young people and to identify specific action steps toward those goals. The first development session will be held Saturday, December 6th, from noon to 3 at the Clayton County Youth Development and Justice Center, first floor in the Jackson Resource Room located at 9162 Terra Boulevard, next to the Banky Justice Center. And everyone is urged to attend this important opportunity to impact the future of our county. Last month, the Clayton County Public Schools Department of Social School Work held its 6th annual food drive. An abundance of turkeys, canned goods, and non-perishable food items from various county schools and facilities were collected. As a result of this display of generosity, the campaign was able to serve a total of 160 families, or more than 784 individuals. Volunteers from the alternative school and elite scholars assisted with the sorting and packaging of boxes. The maintenance department assisted with the distribution and collection of food barrels throughout the county. Special thanks are extended to Sequoia for collecting the most canned goods and non-perishable food items, and to the Perry Center for donating the most turkeys. So we commend our school social workers for their outstanding display of humanity for those in need this year. On December 8th, Clayton County Public Schools collaborated with Safe America Foundation and a number of other sponsors to host the FAST annual Southside Brain Camp. It's a fun-filled educational safety expo. Held at the newly remodeled Delta Flight Museum, the event brought together more than 500 middle and high school students and parents to participate in activities that promoted service learning, community service, literacy development, college and career readiness, and driving behaviors for our students. I extend appreciation to CTAE Coordinator Ebony Chillis and her steering committee for an outstanding event. Recently, school nutrition programs from across Clayton County were recognized by the Georgia School Nutrition Association for their work in increasing participation in their school's breakfast and lunch programs during the 2013-14 school year. Schools were recognized for producing sizable percentage gains in participation for breakfast, lunch, and for a combination of both meals. The screen displays a list of schools that were so honored by the association. And in our audience tonight are nutrition managers and staff for the listed schools. I ask them to stand at this time so that we can offer a salute for a job well done. Please stand. We thank you. Thank you. And these are the people that get up 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning and are ready for our children when they come to schools. And so we greatly appreciate your service. The following Clayton County School employees have been recognized for their outstanding service to the district, its students and families, and their fellow employees. Support Professional of the Year, Avery Hudson, Jonesboro High School. Support Professional of the Year, Dr. Rashida Brown, Student Services. Support Leader of the Year, Audrey Hamilton, Director of School Nutrition. Support Leader, are they here, any of them? I know Audrey's here. Audrey, stand up, please. Support Leader of the Year, Katrina Thompson, Director of Federal Programs. Katrina's here. Katrina's not here. All right, and Principal of the Year, Dr. Denise Stevens, Hopper Elementary School. And Teacher of the Year, Devin Hill, Morrow Elementary School. And each of these employees, outstanding employees, will be formally recognized during a gala celebration in January. So last month, members of the district student services staff joined with students and community volunteers for a district volunteer day at the Teaching Gardens, Mount Zion Elementary and Mount Zion Primary Schools. The gardens are sponsored by Kaiser Permanente, the Southeastern Horticultural Association, and Captain Planet. The work included such tasks as spreading mulch on both primary and elementary sites, creation of second walking path, and the spreading of gravel. And so we thank everyone for their efforts to provide our students with this intensive hands-on learning opportunity. And it was very cold, and they were out there early morning, and I walked through. So I thank you. And finally, please join me in recognizing the participants of the district's Leadership Enhancement for Aspiring Principals Program, LEAP. These are employees who aspire to hold a position in school leadership. And so we welcome you. Please stand. And we thank you for your commitment to educating the children of Clayton County. Thank you very much. They are in training. And so, Madam Chair, this concludes my report for December.
Thank you, Madam Superintendent. Ms. Gorey.
Madam Chair, I would like to also extend accolades to Ms. Hamilton and the cafeteria managers. I just wanted to say that since I am now a grandmother and my grandchildren attend school in Clayton County, and I did have that delicious Thanksgiving meal with them, so and I felt so welcomed, and so I just wanted to take my hat off to you all. And also, I want to commend Ms. Jackson, because I'm looking up there at all those LEAP people, and I see some great leaders, future leaders. I'm glad to know that we have re-implemented that program. It's something that's greatly needed, and like I said, I see a whole lot of good people up there, so want to keep them here in Clayton County for the future.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all. All right. Thank you.
Okay, board members, we're ready to look at the consent agenda this evening. That includes our legislative priorities for 2015, our purchasing report, financial report, SPLOST 4 revenue report, banking services resolution for Title 50 waiver, personnel changes report, and our SPLOST construction update. So we'll be voting on all those unless somebody wants to pull one. Ms. Gorey, did you want to pull one?
Ma'am, I'm trying to make the motion.
You go. I'm for you.
So moved, Madam Chair.
I need a second. Dr. Anderson?
I second the motion, Madam
Board
Chair.
members, if you would vote your approval of the consent agenda. And it is unanimous. Thank you so much. I always like to tell folks that are just here this evening that we spent our work session discussing each of those items, so it's not a simple matter of us just looking at it and saying, okay, let's go with it. We're down under the business agenda, and on the business agenda, this was our third read for the Policy L series at our board meeting, at our work session, and so now we're ready to approve the Policy Series L. Dr. Anderson?
Madam Chair, I make the motion that we approve the Policy Series L.
Need a second? Ms. Burrows?
I second the motion.
And board members, if you would vote. And it is unanimous. Thank you so much. At our last meeting, we discussed the fact that we would be getting a bid recommendation from the superintendent on the bid for legal services. So, Madam Superintendent, I'll turn that to you.
Thank you, Dr. Hendricks. And I do think that we sent information to the board members, and so you did receive all of that information. So it was sent on November 21st, and this is just to go over what you have already received.
All right. Good evening, Madam Chair, Madam Vice Chair, members of the board, Superintendent Ms. Jackson, esteemed colleagues, and friends and community. A competitive solicitation request for proposal was issued on September 2nd, 2014 for legal consulting services for the district. Requests for proposals are awarded based on the best value. Although price is one of the categories evaluated, it is not the sole determining factor for award. Best value is determined by the number of points awarded. The proposals with the highest overall scores are the proposals the committee evaluated as offering the best value to the district. The two law firms that received the best overall scores are Gregory Doyle, Calhoun and Rogers, and Fincher, Denmark, Williams, and Menafield. A committee of 5 district employees that are considered experts in their field were selected to serve on the committee. 7 proposals were received and evaluated on the basis of methodologies, capabilities, and business stability, with cumulative scores as listed on the attached spreadsheet that you should all have. The purpose of this contract is to provide district-wide legal services on an as-needed basis. Gregory Doyle, Calhoun, and Rogers, and Fincher, Denmark, Williams, and Manifield were evaluated as the 2 firms with the highest scores. To ensure the district has appropriate legal coverage in all areas and at all times, today's recommendation is to award the contract to both firms and allow the superintendent to use both firms at her discretion. At this time, I'll take any questions you may have.
Board members, let's get a motion and second on the floor, and then we'll have the discussion that I promised you because we were not allowed to do that, or we didn't have the information last time. So, Dr. Anderson.
I make the motion that we accept the superintendent's recommendation for the 2 legal services.
And Ms. Baker?
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, and now, Ms. Gorey, I think your light was on to discuss.
Actually, I was for the motion, but I do want to discuss one thing. I guess first I want to ask a question, and maybe Mr. Doyle might be able to help me out on this. Now, as the board, our only employee is supposed to be the superintendent. However, as the board also, I believe legal serves at the pleasure of the board. Is that not true? Okay, so I do have one issue with this in that I feel like that maybe the people that you had on the committee were experts, but I think that the board should have some say in evaluating this. I'm pleased with the 2 selections, but as I looked across the at some of the other companies, I'm thinking, now what if those 5 people had not selected these 2? I'm looking at a couple of law firms here that, you know, represented us, and we lost, you know, we had to pay a lot of money out. And I think that the board should be involved with the selection of the, you know, if nothing else, I think we need to be able to get the information and maybe sort of like the way we do our needs assessment, if all of us kind of looked at it and we, you maybe got an average from the board, but I do think that the board should have some say in this because, you know, maybe you all could have picked somebody else. And as I said last time, I just think that if we have a good law firm, I think we, you know, you need to stick with what you have if they're good. You all could have come up with some other firm that may not have suited us because, you know, we are still, you know, it still represents us as well.
Mm-hmm. You're correct, Ms. Gorey. Our law firm is just absolutely critical, isn't it? Other comments? Then we have a motion and a second on the floor to accept the superintendent's recommendation of these 2 firms for our legal services in the following year, with subsequent years having an option of renewing the contract. So, board members, if you'd please vote your pleasure. And it is unanimous. Thank you. And finally, although we did not have an executive session, we do have a personnel recommendation from the superintendent.
Thank you. The position of principal at North Clayton High School is I am recommending Mr. Lonnie Farmer for your consideration.
Ms. Gorey?
And of course, you know, that's the proud Eagles of North Clayton High School. So, of course, I highly recommend the superintendent's recommendation of Mr. Lonnie Farmer as the principal of the mighty North Clayton High School Eagles.
Mr. Christmas? Board members, if you would vote your pleasure on the superintendent's recommendation. And it is unanimous. Thank you. Could you please
Mr.
stand?
Farmer, would you please stand? And I want to say that I did meet with him today. We had a great discussion, and we're looking forward to even better things coming from North Clayton.
Okay.
So thank you.
Only one quick comment. Sonia Davis is here. Miss Davis, where are you? I saw you come in. Didn't I see Miss? Oh, there she is in the back. Wave real big so they can see you. If you've not contacted her yet about helping her sponsor Christmas for one of our homeless children in the county, please do so. She will either let you adopt a child and provide Christmas, or she'll let you make a cash contribution to provide Christmas. What is the last date, Miss Davis? What's the deadline? They're up here asking me what's the last date. I can't hear you, honey. You're going to have to yell at me. So you need your money tonight. That's what you need, right? The lady needs her money tonight. She doesn't. You don't need to be shopping on Friday for your due on Saturday. You just do not. So let's take care of our children this year. We've done a good job, and I thank her for the work that she does. Ms. Gorey?
Just to move that we adjourn.
I wasn't going to move, Ms. Gorey. I was just going to say we finished our business. We're adjourned.
Thank you all. Have a safe trip.